Hi students, in the previous video we see about the programming formats and the limitations while constructing the PLC ladder diagram. So in this video we will see about the what are the devices connected to the input and output modules. So the devices connected to the input modules and output modules are classified into normally four ways. So what are those four ways means for input side two ways and for output side two ways. That means for input side, input on or off switching devices, input analog devices. And similarly, for output side, output on or off devices and output analog devices. So what are the input on or off switching devices means? Normally open switch and normally closed switch and SPST switch. That means single pole single throw switch and SPDT switch. That means single pole double throw switch and DPST double pole single throw switch and DPDT double pole double throw switches. And in addition to these switches, some other switches are there. So what are those some other switches? So these switches are classified into two ways. What are the two ways means? From in this picture, from A to G, the switches are called as toggle type switches. Toggle type switches, and from H to K, these switches are called as push button switches. Push button switches. So in addition to these switches, some more switches are there. Those switches are nothing but pressure switches, hall devices, level switches, etc. So the devices connected to the input modules are called input devices, and the devices connected to the output modules are called output devices. So the input devices are classified into two types. What are those two types? Input on or off switching devices and input analog devices. And similarly, the output devices are also classified into two types. What are those two types? Output on or off switches and output analog devices. So coming to the input on or off switching devices, those are classified into so many ways. Among those, some are we discussed here. So what are those? Some switches are means normally open switch, normally closed switch, single pole single throw switch, single pole double throw switch, double pole double throw switch, double pole single throw switch. And the classification of the switches also either toggle type switches or push button switches. And in addition to these switches, some more switches are there. Those switches are nothing but pressure switches, hall devices, level switches, etc. And next, input analog devices. So input analog devices also so many are there. So among those, the most commonly used input analog devices are potentiometers, LVDTs, and thermocouples. So these all are comes to the category of transducers itself. So first of all, what is the meaning of the transducer? Transducer is a device which transfers non-electrical quantity into electrical quantity. So if the pressure will be converted into electrical signal, then the device is called a transducer. And if the temperature will be converted into a electrical signal, then the device is called a transducer. And if the displacement will be converted as a electrical signal, then the device is called as a transducer. So all are the any non-electrical quantity converted into electrical quantity, that device is called as transducers. So some analog input devices are potentiometers, LVDTs, and thermocouples. However, these are also nothing but some type of transducers. Why? Because in potentiometer we can vary the slide wire. So the slide wire resistance will be converted into electrical signal there. So that's why that is the one transducer. And LVDT, the displacement will be converted as a electrical signal. So that is a linear variable display transducer. And in the thermocouple, temperature will be converted as a electrical signal. So in addition to this, the input devices are classified into also two types. So what are the two types? Transducers and sensors. These transducers are further classified into thermal transducers, optical transducers, magnetical transducers, and electromechanical transducers. So what are the example for the thermal transducers means thermistor, RTD, thermocouple, etc. And what are the example for the optical transducer means photoconductive cell and photovoltaic cell. And what are the example for the magnetical transducers means inductive transducers and reluctive transducers. And what are the example for the electromechanical transducers means strain gauge. And similarly, the sensors also classified into four ways: thermal sensors, optical sensors, flow sensors, and level sensors. So thermal sensors means IC temperature sensor and temperature transmitters, etc. And optical sensors already we known. And the flow sensors means turbines, ultrasonic sensors are the example for the flow sensors, and the proximity sensors are for the example for the level sensors. So this is about the input analog devices, and on those I already told three devices are there: potentiometer and LVDT, linear variable display transducer, and thermocouple. So first one is potentiometer. So in the potentiometer we have one slide wire. By varying that slide wire, we can vary the voltage. So whatever the voltage we want to require, so we can make the slide wire. By using the slide wire, we can make that voltage. Suppose if that voltage does not match with the output value, then what we have to do means we have to place a voltage converter or a amplifier in between the one potentiometer and the PLC input module. And the next one is LVDT, linear variable display transducer. So in this LVDT, the displacement will be converted as a electrical signal. So how this displacement will be converted as a electrical signal means simply this is a transformer principle. Transformer principle. So in the transformer you have primary winding and secondary winding. So in the LVDT we can divide the secondary winding of the transformer into two identical sections. So those two identical sections consist of same number of turns. That means here we have one section and here we have another section. These two sections are divided into two identical sections with the same number of turns. That means section 1 consisting of the same number of turns and section 2 consisting of the same number of turns. And here one observation is the core is a movable core. That means we can move that core in very flexible manner. So when we give the some electrical supply to the primary winding, then definitely some voltage will be induced in the both of the secondary windings. That means suppose if you consider the voltage induced in the section 1 is V1, then the voltage induced in the section 2 is minus V1. Why? Because the section 1 and section 2 are connected in such a way that those two are in phase opposition. So the section 1 generates the V1 voltage and the section 2 generates the V2 voltage, which is equal to the negative of the V1 voltage. Then what is the sum of those two voltages, V1 and V2? V1 plus minus V1, that means 0. So at the 0 position of the movable core, at the 0 position of the movable core, the voltage generated by this transformer is 0. Suppose if you move the core of the transformer, suppose if you move the core of the transformer, then the core linking with these secondary windings will be changes. As a result, the voltage generated by the section 1 and section 2 is also varies. As the two voltages are different, then the difference between those two voltages, definitely some voltage will be appear. That voltage will be appear at the secondary side of the transformer, that is as the V out. So as we goes on moving the core of the transformer, then the voltage of the secondary side also changes. That means here the movement of the movable core generates the voltage. So here the displacement will be converted into electrical signal. So here one non-electrical quantity, which is nothing but displacement, is converted into electrical quantity as voltage. So this is also a transducer. Here the displacement will be converted into electrical signal. So that's why this is called as linear variable display transducer. And next input analog device is thermocouple. Next input analog device is thermocouple. So how we can construct a thermocouple? For constructing a thermocouple, simply we consider the two dissimilar metals made up of different metals, say ferrous and nickel or ferrous and zinc, and we can join the both of the metals. We can join the both of the metals, and at the end of the one side we can put one meter, and those two metals differently have the two temperature coefficients. Those two temperature coefficients are different temperature coefficients. The temperature coefficients of the metal A is 1, and the temperature coefficient of the metal B is the another one, and as the two temperature coefficients are different, definitely there will be some potential difference will be appeared at the junction of the those two metals. So this will be sensed by the one sensitive voltmeter. So here the temperature is converted into voltage signal. So that's why this thermocouple is also called as a transducer. Why? Because the definition of the transducer is a non-electrical quantity will be converted into electrical quantity. That means here the non-electrical quantity temperature is converted into the electrical signal. So that's why the thermocouple is also a transducer, and this is the one of the analog device for the PLC input modules. And next, coming to the output devices. Output devices. So we already classified the output devices into two ways. What are the two ways? Output on or off devices and output analog devices. So the best example for the output on or off devices is a solenoid. Solenoid. So when we give a when the solenoid receives the electrical signal from the output module, so the CPU generates the signal to the output module, and that output module gives the electrical signal to the solenoid. When the solenoid gets the supply from the output modules, then the solenoid will be, the plunger present in the solenoid will be activated, and that will be moves with the help of a spring. And when the plunger of this solenoid will be moves in upwards or downward direction, then a particular motor switch will be on or a particular operation will be on. That why? Because this particular solenoid can be acts as a mechanical switch. Mechanical switch. In addition to the solenoid, the electromechanical relays also used as the output on or off devices. These are electromechanical relays can be acts as a very useful manner. Why? Because these will be isolated from the output devices. These will be isolated from the output devices, and this will provide the high amount of currents rather than the output devices. So because of the so many advantages, the electromechanical relays are more advantageous than the solenoid. And coming to the output analog devices, the output analog devices are also so many ways we have. So among those that commonly used are stepper motor and servo motor. So in the stepper motor, the rotatory position is dictated by its electrical input, and that can be in the in steps the stepper motor will be rotate. And in the similar fashion, the servo motor operation is also similar to the stepper motor, but the rotate in a angular motion. The rotation is in steps motion. In the servo motor, the rotation is in angular motion. So the application of the servo motors are arms of the robots, and applications of the stepper motors are analog clock. In the analog clock, the handles of the analog clocks are example for the stepper motor. So this is about the input and output devices that are connected to the input modules and output modules. And next, PLC input instructions and output instructions. So what are the instructions means? Whatever the devices we are connected to the input devices, that will be represented with the one representation. That representation is nothing but instruction. So suppose here the input device, this device is connected to the input 2. So this can be represented as the IN01 in the PLC input module. So all the devices connected to the input devices or output input modules or output modules can be treated as the one instruction. So what are the PLC input instructions means? The PLC input devices, that means the PLC on or off switches and PLC analog devices can be acts as the PLC input instructions, and in the similar fashion the PLC on or off devices, output on or off devices or output analog devices are acts as the instructions, output instructions for the PLCs. So whatever the devices connected to the input module and output module are represented with a one number. That number is nothing but instruction. Based upon the instruction only, the program present in the PLC CPU will be operates. So next one is the operational procedure. So this is the very simple one, just for one example, like in the our programming formats. So here let us see the slide. For explaining the operational procedure, let us take one example. What is that example? A relay coil is activated when two toggle switches and one limit switch are activated. So here we have three switches. When the three switches are on, then the relay coil is on. This is the example. So here what is the observation we have to make here means we have to observe the what are the PLC instructions and how we decide those instructions. That means let us see. Here we have switch 1. So that switch 1 is connected to the PLC input module terminal 1, which can be represented with IN001. So this IN001 is the instruction. And next, for switch 2, we can represent the PLC input module second terminal, that can be represented with IN002. And the third is limit switch, and that can be represented with IN003. And similarly, the output devices can be represented with CR001. So these all are connected in series. This is the example explanation, and how we can write in the program we will see. So here we have three inputs. This is the connection diagram for this particular example. So what are the connection diagram? Input module, we have the three terminals IN001, IN002, IN003. Those are connected to the switch 1 and switch 2 and limit switch. And the output module have the one coil, that is the CR01 anything. So this can be considered the one instruction. So coming to the program, we already see in the programming format. So insert the relay control line as follows in the edit mode, and push the number of contact key, not number of contact, normally open contact key, and push the input key, and push the 001 numeral key. Then we can insert the IN001 and push the enter key. If you enter, that contact will be appear on the monitor. And for the second contact IN002, what we have to do? Repeat the steps A and B. Repeat the steps A and B, and push the 002 numerical keys, and push the enter key. Then the second contact also appear on the monitor. And what we have to do? We have to enter the third contact and the coil, and we can run. So that is the procedure. So move the cursor on the more space on the right, and repeat the process for 003, and continue the line to the right, and push the coil or output key. The coil should appear on the monitor. Push 001 numerical keys, push enter. If the line now looks correct, check it whether that is present or not, we check, and push the insert ladder key and enter. So then the resulting PLC diagram is like this: IN001, IN002 and IN003. By observing this one, all are normally open contacts. So when the all contacts are closed, then only the output will be on. All contacts are closed means when the all contacts are on. So this is the example operation procedure. So when the PLC is set to run, then the circuit will be operated. So this is about the operating procedure. So in this video we see about the input devices and output devices, and operation procedure, and input instructions and output instructions. So in the next class we have some examples which represents the use of contacts and coils, and one example drill press operation with two videos. Thank you.